Nice. Awesome. Am I locked in? You can't, all right, you can't get out these doors. What the hell is that? Oh my God, gross. Oh. YouTube.com/sound. Hey, what's up, Legion? My name is Sal. It's Christmas Eve. I think I have the flu, and this is another expedition log. Happy holidays, everyone. We've got another year under our belts, and 2020 is about to turn 3 in a few days. But to close out 2022, I'd like to present a mall built by a king during its last decorated Christmas and on its very last day open. As always, I hope you're all well out there, finding some time to relax during the holidays. Thanks especially to my patrons and elite explorers for the direct support. Your donations and super chats keep gas in the Exlog's tank, and you all rock. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and to join my Discord server to chat with me in real time. Just go to discord.gg/dmod to join. But tonight, I'd like you all to come take a walk with me through Baltimore's Harborplace, built by the King Jim Rouse. So grab a drink and a snack, because this is a long one. But first, a word from our sponsors. That Winter Campbell soup commercial we all remember from back in the day, and some incredible holiday vibraphone music by the jazz engineer Bob Green. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and enjoy.
Nothing melts away the cold like a delicious hot bowl of Campbell's chicken noodle soup. Let it snow, let it snow. Campbell's makes everything.
You may be wondering why I have these two stands, and it has to be for this next number, in which the audience will participate. 1961, Be a Santa. Be. Santa, jolly Santa, happy Santa. Did very well. Very proud of all of you. We're wishing you again a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We're going to play a little Hava Nagila.
Okay, so the gallery at Harborplace should be closing any day now, unfortunately, so we're gonna go in and see what it looks like on its last few days. Welcome back to the gallery at Harborplace. The last time we visited this mall was 44 episodes ago, back in Exlog 69. Nice. In that episode, we mainly covered the history of the Inner Harbor and what led up to the construction of Harborplace itself. Today, I'd like to dig a bit deeper and take a closer look at the gallery and its pavilions, with footage from December of 2021 showcasing what was most likely the last time Harborplace would ever be decorated for Christmas. And then we'll see some new footage from just a few days ago to see how the malls have fallen in the span of just a year. And finally, a last look at the gallery from top to bottom. But let's jump into a brief tautology of the historical narrative for Harborplace. Baltimore's Inner Harbor was plagued with neglect through the 1950s and 60s, and despite multiple projects being introduced to reinvigorate the area, most would fail to materialize. Into the 1970s, the harbor was packed with abandoned factories and disintegrating docks and wharfs, and it wasn't until then Mayor of Baltimore City, William Donald Schaefer, successfully kicked off an urban renewal project, seeing the Maryland Science Center opened in 1976. Jim Rouse's company was brought on in 1977 to build out the commercial aspect for the Inner Harbor, and 2 years later, the $51.4 million convention center opened in 1979, which really activated this section of Baltimore. Rouse tapped architect Benjamin C. Thompson to design the pavilions, and the project got full approval the next year in November of 1978. Construction would begin a few months later in January of 1979. Work would take just over a year and a half, with the pavilions for the $20 million Harborplace Festival Marketplace opening on July 2, 1980. Just after the grand opening, Jim Rouse would step back from leading the company and would take a more passive role in the background and retirement, making Harborplace his last hands-on project. But he would have just one more trick up his sleeve before fully retiring. 1 year after the Harborplace pavilions celebrated their dedication, the Rouse Company had purchased a large city block in downtown Baltimore, and they were looking to activate this area by opening a regional mall, which was pitched by Jim Rouse himself in what would actually be his final project. The mall would also feature a massive hotel, which the city wanted to support the big new convention circuits at the new convention center. Rouse hired architect Eberhard Zeidler to design the mall. Zeidler recalls in his autobiography the first time he visited Baltimore City to view the site, to see what to do with it. I'll quote his book directly. Quote, "When I visited the site to see how we could do this, I parked my car and walked around the harbor. When I came back to my car, I found that somebody had stolen my tires. That's what this area was like. But not today. Today, it's full of life and activity." Close quote. Zeidler and the Rouse team had the plans drawn up in the next couple of years and submitted for approval. The new mall was to span 4 floors, with 3 floors of retail stores, a hotel, and office building. The mall was designed to have a diagonal cut right through the building, a center water display, and escalators which were to resemble the Spanish Steps in Rome. On the 3rd floor, there was a walkway turned 180 degrees that gave access to a food court overlooking the Inner Harbor. There were a pair of escalators that also gave access to the 4th floor, which would be part of the hotel and entertainment area. And all throughout the mall would be trees and shrubs taking in sunlight from the massive glass ceiling above the atrium. Citing the initial success of Harborplace, Rouse was able to court Bloomingdale's into signing a letter of intent to anchor the new mall. But the deal, quote, fell apart in the corporate capital allocation of its then-parent Federated Department Stores, close quote. With Bloomingdale's out, Rouse was then able to get Brooks Brothers to sign, who would be the main anchor for the mall. Given the sheer scale of the project and the surrounding infrastructure that would have to be enhanced and built out, not to mention the permits required for the job, the mall was in development for years. But on September 3, 1987, the gallery at Harborplace would officially open with thousands of visitors, including Jim Rouse himself in attendance. Rouse was in awe of the mall and was quoted saying, "It's the best public building I've ever seen," close quote. trying to get to the floor where you can see into the gallery, and I think I tried 6. I think it's 5 though. Let's try that. Harborplace, with its 2 pavilions and gallery mall, was reported to cost over $200 million. The pavilions came in at $20 million, but it looks like Rouse took out 2 mortgages on the gallery. One was $58 million and the other was $12 million. And at the time, Rouse was incredibly cash rich and their properties were pumping out tons of money, so I'm guessing they paid for the rest in cash. So let's say that Harborplace was conservatively a $150 million investment, which would include the brand new 622-room Stouffer Harborplace Hotel, which came in at a cost of $75 million, opening in April of 1988, attached directly and towering over the Gallery Mall. And yes, it was owned by the same company who makes that awesome frozen mac and cheese. By 1989, it was reported that the Gallery Mall was between 95 to 98% leased and was doing about $300 in sales per square foot. However, across the street, the twin pavilions of Harborplace were outperforming the new mall with sales of $600 per square foot, with the entire property generating about $900 to $1,000 in sales per square foot. That's a massive bit of money coming into the city, and in its first few years, Harborplace was doing absolutely incredible. I think the more robust sales at the pavilions were fueled by the sheer amount of restaurants and shops packed into the spaces. There was a Phillips Seafood, the American Cafe, City Lights, Jean-Claude's Cafe, and the Soup Kitchen Limited. There were also Lee's Ice Cream, the Bob Tree, the French Bread Factory, and Whimsy Works. Later in its life, it would see a Johnny's restaurant who had Anthony Bourdain back in the kitchen for a brief time. It would have McCormick and Schmick's, Johnny Rockets, and the Cheesecake Factory, and Hooters. So these pavilions were really centered around restaurants, and a lot of sit-down meals can come in at a pretty big tag if you have enough people with you, so I can see why there was more money being spent at the pavilions. But here at the gallery, it catered to a completely different crowd. When everything just opened, there were skywalk bridges throughout the inner harbor connecting various towers to the gallery and pavilions. This network of pedestrian walkways made it easy for local workers to go out on their lunch break to go and grab a bite to eat. But the pavilions offered mainly sit-down restaurants as their anchor tenants. They had a few quick bites to eat here and there, but they were centered around sit-down restaurants. But getting something quick to eat was easier to do at the gallery food court upstairs in the cafeteria. And I do believe that accounted for its lower sales, despite having upscale shops like Brooks Brothers inside, but this place was centered around a quick experience.
So it wouldn't be a proper Harborplace video if we didn't visit the pavilions at Harborplace. So I know we did a whole episode on this before. We're just gonna take a quick walk through here since it's Christmas, it's the holiday season, and let's see if they did anything to decorate for the season. Because the gallery did. The gallery put up decorations, beautiful decorations, this gorgeous tree array in the center court. And it's their last Christmas. They're trying. But let's head across the street now to see if the pavilions did anything. Really quick. This used to be the skywalk, and they were all over the place. You could actually get from one building to the other but they took them down, unfortunately. It was actually really cool. Fritz and I used to skateboard across them. We'd skip class in high school, but don't tell my teachers. And yes, face masks are mandated still. This is 2021, and face masks are still mandated. But this will air in 2022, or possibly later, so who knows what's going on then. Oh.
So right now we're in the Pratt Street pavilion, which I was delighted to see decorations in.
Nice.
It's such a bittersweet thing to see Christmas decorations in a dead mall.
There's a gate? I didn't know they had gates.
On one hand, I need to give management a big hug for putting effort into and actually trying to decorate for the holidays. But on the other hand, so few people will see these decorations anymore, and the efforts fall silent on most of the public.
Obviously, there used to be more stores this way. There's a whole other concourse, but they drywalled it off. Yeah. You can't see anything. Yeah, nothing. This place rocks. Awesome. Yeah, I really didn't expect anything to be open there. Looks like this gift shop is open. But I mean, that's all they've got in the harbor is gift stores. We could check the other side of Pratt Street. Yeah, we could check the other side. There's not going to be anything over there, except for Tirnanog. It's the same thing. There's one side is drywalled off. I have to go back upstairs.
So many people have grown nostalgic for Harborplace because of what it brought to Baltimore City in the 1980s. In the 60s and 70s, Baltimore was at probably its lowest point, and when Harborplace came about, it boosted Baltimore's confidence to an incredible degree. It completely revived the tourist industry, and it set a standard for other festival marketplaces around the country because of what Jim Rouse was able to do with the Inner Harbor. But looking at it now, are we back at that same place? Is Baltimore again at a low point where we need a complete reimagining of the Inner Harbor in downtown? I'm not sure. In a moment, I'm about to run into a security guard who tells me that I can't film in the mall. On this channel, we've run into security guards telling us to get out countless times. But this guy was cool about it, and I was already on my way out, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, I get security guards are hired to protect a property and its guests, and that's great. We need them. But for the life of me, I still can't figure out why they hassle people taking photos of the establishment. The only logical reason I can come up with is that the management doesn't want potential shoppers to know that there's actually nothing in there to do.
Nothing.
To keep possible organic growth and traffic a thing that might happen. But I kind of think people like me are doing a service to the general public by showing them what's actually going on inside these places before they travel to a place like this for nothing. Let me know if you agree down in my comments or in my social media. Links are in my description.
What's up? What'd you say? Gotcha, no problem. Security guard just told us that we couldn't record in here. So we'll leave. We'll go to the other pavilion. It'll always boggle my mind why security guards in dead malls don't want people to film or tell people not to film. I don't think it's really them not wanting pictures getting taken. I think the management just tells them. And I'm pretty sure it's because the owners, they don't want like the actual truth about how grim business is at their establishment. I think they just don't want that to get out. So that explains that. But whatever. Oh my god, this is so slippery. Oh my god. Oh, I'm totally gonna eat shit on this.
When I was here filming this footage back in 2021, it really struck me just how many people were walking around outside. So I was kind of excited to see that there might be some life inside the Light Street Pavilion. But as you'll see in a second, it was completely empty. There were a few people in there, but the only thing to do at the time was dining at Hooters, which had their interior access closed, and H&M had just shut down operations. Now this begs the question on the actual viability of keeping a mall like this open. Does the market actually support it? Or is it better to knock it down and build something better for the community that they want? I'd also like your thoughts on that down in my comments.
Okay, so this is the Light Street side, and historically this one's always done better, which I don't get because the traffic's easier over on Pratt, but this one's always done better, although it's bigger, and maybe it looks like it's doing better because it's got more square footage, but it's not doing well in 2021. So let's go see. Look at my stupid mask on. Alright, let's go see how it's doing in 2021. Sure.
At this point, management and security had limited access to the top floor because there was absolutely nothing open up there. But it didn't stop me from scouring the place to find a way up to the second floor. There were 2 security guards working at the time, and they had even stopped some other guy from walking up the steps, and they were just on the prowl looking for people trying to get up there. In this instance though, I get it. There's lots of dark hallways and places to hide upstairs, and I think it was the right thing for them to do. The harbor sees lots of crime. Baltimore sees lots of crime, and I agree with the security tactics in this case, and I give the security guards props for putting their feet down. This is an example of good security, and I respect that. But I'm still going to try and get in there from the outside, as you'll see in a few minutes. As a reminder, if you want to see what the upstairs looks like, make sure to check out my previous video on Harborplace, which was Exlog 69, nice, when both pavilions and the gallery were fully open to the public. That was such a fun episode, and it has an entirely different feel to this one. There was much more optimism in that Exlog, and I thought Harborplace was turning itself around. But after producing this piece and seeing how everything is closed, it's going to take a lot of work to redevelop these properties. However, I do have hope.
So the upstairs is closed off, as you can see, and they've got actually a couple of guards here, and they're not having it. They've been standing in front of each of these stairwells for a while now, and they just kind of left for a minute. I'm not even going to try going up. If you want to watch and see what the upstairs looks like, go check out my other video on this place, which will be down in the description. There's nothing to see up there. Everything is closed. It's just dark. Yeah, it looks ominous, and we all love liminal spaces, but this piece is more about the gallery. And I mean, again, if you want to see what it looks like, go check out my first piece on the gallery on Harborplace. Oh my God, it stinks up here. It's so bad. Oh yeah. Yeah, somebody's using this place as a bathroom. Oh my God, it's horrible. But again, here you go. This is the upstairs. And again, it looks no different than the last time I was here, but I just wanted to show you guys that nothing has changed. Just a little darker this time because it's nighttime. And here's the other side. Once again, no different.
In just a moment, we'll have a time jump to see some footage that I just shot a few days ago. And then we'll come back to finish the episode with the rest of my 2021 footage when the gallery and both pavilions were still open to the public.
I doubt it's open. Yeah, it's not open. But anyway. Yep, so not really much has changed here. It's still just as vacant as it was the first time I filmed it. And yeah, nothing has changed. I don't expect anything to change. Although when the gallery sells, I'm curious to see what develops here. And by the time this gets published, I'm sure we'll have some more news. And if something develops on the two pavilions, of course, I'll go and film it. And if I do film something new on the pavilions and or the gallery, that'll happen right now. Nothing has changed. The Light Street Pavilion, the upstairs is still closed. Pratt Street has even less going on inside of it. And the gallery is still closed. This is 2022. Happy holidays. Christmas is just a few days away. Hanukkah just started. And we'll get back to the old footage momentarily. But let's just get some 2022 footage and a perspective of what a year has done.
So, as you just heard, this footage was taken only a few days before publication of the episode you're watching right now. I wanted to come back and visit this place one more time to get some updated footage to see just how far it's fallen. The Light Street Pavilion traditionally has always been the grimier sibling of the twin pavilions, but it was in really rough shape. There was way more rust all over the stairs, and everything just seemed to have decayed a lot more since my last visit. And there's these signs posted around the Light Street Pavilion, these ominous signs that say the Hooters is open and there's an arrow pointing in a direction. Now, when I first got there, I thought that it meant that the arrow was pointing to the door so that you can open it and go inside. But as you'll see, the signs go all the way around the building, so it wants you to walk all the way around the pavilion to get to the Hooters.
This could be the end. The Light Street Pavilion. I see the doors open there, but that's it. These doors are closed. The H&M is gone. There's a gift shop over there, but it doesn't have any interior mall access. It's finally closed. Such a shame. This is what they were resorting to tell people how to get into the one open establishment. Man, it's pretty grim. So Hooters is definitely open, but if you look at the back, you can see that they closed off the mall access. There's like a coat rack or something back there. So it's official. The mall, the Light Street Pavilion is officially closed. Okay, so it's official. I needed to see for myself that there's no mall access from the Hooters into Light Street, and yeah, now we're actually going to go back over to the Pratt Street Pavilion, which does look to be open, and we'll just take a peek inside there. I'm sure nothing has changed, and then we'll just take a look. Maybe we can get inside the gallery if we go through the hotel. Take one quick look at that, and then we'll return to 2021 South. No Christmas trees this year. They chose not to decorate. Wow, is Uno's closed? Jeez. So yeah, there is nothing in here except for Tirnanog. I think it's open. Wow. I never thought I'd see this place close. Never in a million years. Okay, so it looks like Cheesecake Factory is open. This gift shop, well, it might just be closed today. Mason's is open? Yeah, Mason's is open. But man. Let's go, I forget. Let's go see if Tirnanog is open. Yeah, I kind of just blew right past Tirnanog when we first got here because I saw the 2 security guards there. But let's see. Doesn't look good. Okay, so looks like they're closed for the holidays. Who knows if they'll reopen? Now it looks like the women's bathroom on this side is gated up. Crazy. The men's one is too. Still, I don't really see this opening back up. All right, so the Pratt Street Pavilion is not looking good. There's really nothing left in here. They have the crepe shop, they have the Cheesecake Factory, and Mason's lobster rolls, and that's it. I don't think this place is going to survive another year, and I can see them maybe making outside access for the 2 big restaurants and closing the crepe shop. But let's go see if we can get into the gallery one last time. It's upsetting. There's no Christmas decorations anywhere to be found. Last Christmas was it for Harborplace, I think. It's grim. Let's go take a look. Am I locked in? You can't, all right, you can't get out these doors. Let's see if we can go out that way. Okay. Let's go. Okay, yeah, it's not looking good for Pratt Street. Like, they're even locking the front doors now. It's really upsetting. This place used to be amazing. Okay, there's one more thing open. So Mason's, Cheesecake Factory, the crepe shop, and It's Sugar. Okay, that's what's open here. That's what's open here. All right, let's head over to the gallery one last time, and then we'll head back to see Big Sal. The same Christmas trees are still up in there from last year. So I don't know if this is a fact or whatever, but I think they just left the Christmas decorations up in there from what you saw earlier in this episode and what you'll see in a little bit. But they just, I think they just closed it the day after I filmed it. I think that was its last day. Because just taking a peek initially, it looked like the Christmas trees in there were the same exact ones from last year. But let's sneak in through the Renaissance Hotel, if we can. I don't know, we'll see if it's possible anymore. And we'll see if we can get up to the 5th floor to look down into the former gallery at Harborplace. This whole place is just doomed. It's just doomed. But I might have news, so hang on, let's see if we can get in. Would you look at that? They knew. They knew. But of course the hotel has other entrances. So let's just walk in, see if we can get it. I don't know. Let's see. Hey buddy, how are you?
Holy shit, what happened in this place? Merry Christmas, everybody, and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and all the celebrations. I love all of you. Isn't it so depressing? Happy New Year's, too. They just left their Christmas trees up. What happened? They never took them down. It was lazy. I hope Santa Claus gets you all the best presents, whatever you want. Make sure you leave cookies for the old fat guy. I don't want to take up your time no more, so you can get back to festivities and things, whatever you naughty children do these days. I love you. You're all so beautiful. I don't think we're going to be able to get into the gallery anymore. But maybe some point in the future we can. I hope you all had a pleasurable time in Harborplace. Because this is probably the last visit. I'm going to see you all in the next video. We're going to go back up to New England and to finish with 2 episodes up there. But I hope you have a lovely holidays and stay warm, everybody. See you in the next video. Bye! Christmas!
Wow. The escalators are still running. Incredible. This is how I feel about the future of Harborplace. I wouldn't have been able to fit through there last year. So I'm glad we did it this year. Anyway, gallery at Harborplace, completely dead, closed up. But just a few days ago, I was contacted by somebody who I won't name right now, but they have a keen interest in redeveloping the entire inner harbor. And they want my help. And I've been having conversations with them. We had a meeting, and things look really good for the inner harbor. I can't say anything yet, but there's a lot of hope and a lot of really strong minds that are behind redoing and redeveloping not just the inner harbor, but downtown Baltimore. So I have hope for this place, but right now it's in rough shape. Anyway, let's get back to 2021 sale right now. Sometimes it doesn't work when I click my fingers, so if nothing just happened, then nothing has changed. And the pavilions are still here, rotting away.
At this point, I was desperately looking for a way to get into the upper floor from the outside so I could show you. But in a moment, you'll see that the door was actually open, but I'm an absolute moron. I'm an idiot. When I saw it was open, my plan was to go back and do a bit where it looked like I suddenly found the door open. But when I tried to prop the door closed, I wound up locking it behind me. But I left the bit in because I'm an idiot and to show you all how stupid it was for me to do this. So here it is.
Oh. Wait. All right, let me try snapping my fingers one more time. I felt defeated last time.
We were this close to getting one last look inside the top floor of the Light Street Pavilion. And that night might have very well been the last time we could access any of the interior, because at this time, as you saw in the recent footage, the entire interior is completely inaccessible to the public. Next time, I'm just gonna straight follow through if I find something open. No bits. I really don't expect it to open back up because there's nothing inside, and the Hooters, which is the only establishment open, only has exterior access. But let's get a few last looks from the outside and take a quick look at the sky bridge spanning Light Street, because I really missed the sky bridges and they were awesome.
Okay, but for real this time, let's get back over to the gallery and see it for one last time.
As we get a few last looks of the inner harbor here before getting back to the gallery, let's finish up the historical narrative. The Stouffer Food Corporation was owned by the Swiss food giant Nestle since 1973, which included the Stouffer Hotel Holdings Incorporated. But Nestle wanted to put more focus into their food industry and decided to sell the Stouffer Hotel subsidiary in a $1.5 billion cash deal to Hong Kong property developer Cheng Yu-tung, who was the chairman for the New World Development Company Limited. New World's biggest holdings included Hong Kong's Regent and Hyatt hotels, along with 46 Renaissance hotels. The old Stouffer Hotel, which was attached to the Harborplace Gallery, would be renovated and rebranded to the Harborplace Renaissance in 1993 after the deal closed.
What the hell is that? Part of the Trade Center, I think. Oh my God, gross. Oh. So we're gonna head back into the Renaissance Hotel and hopefully get one last look at the gallery from the 5th floor, because this could very well be the last day that it's open. So we'll see. And I'm pretty sure security was looking for me last time we were in there. We'll try to be a little bit more discreet this time.
After Jim Rouse's death on April 9, 1996, the company would begin to wind down operations moving into the new millennium. It was at this time in 2001 that the gallery at Harborplace would receive a renovation. It wasn't a huge renovation, but they took out all of the trees and shrubbery, removed the cafeteria, and also access to the hotel from inside the mall. It was also at this time that they removed the bridge that cut across to the cafeteria. But then the Rouse Company's entire 37 mall portfolio and the Howard Hughes Corporation was sold to Chicago-based General Growth Properties, or GGP, on August 20, 2004 in a cash deal worth $14.735 billion, which included $5.4 billion of Rouse's debt. This, of course, meant that the Harborplace Pavilions and Gallery changed hands over to GGP, and at the time, King Rouse was out of the game.
This may very well be the last time I'm able to see this place. But I am curious. They will close the gallery, but you might still be able to see it from here. I could definitely see this place turning into offices, but we'll see what happens. When this episode airs, I'm sure something will have happened with this, but we'll see.
4 years after the Rouse acquisition, GGP found themselves in debt to the tune of $25 billion in 2008. By 2009, they defaulted on 2 of their Las Vegas properties with a missed $900 million payment, tanking their stock price 98% in just 1 year.
All right, it's time to FO. Let's go. Oh, it smells like gnarly sausage in here.
GGP then filed one of the biggest bankruptcy suits ever seen, but they were able to get bailed out by various companies, allowing them to exit bankruptcy protection in November of 2010. Shocking everyone, GGP was able to pay their creditors in full and to make a complete recovery. With the turnaround, the value of Harborplace would bounce back, and GGP decided to sell the pavilions to New York-based Ashkenazi Acquisitions Corp. For a whopping $100 million. But that didn't include the gallery.
Uh-oh. Garage? Yeah. Yeah, I think this one's going to it.
Oh, okay. Thanks very much, man.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you. Thank
Sure.
you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so obviously you saw that the mall was locked up. Oh, nice, we got a ticket. Oh, man. Bastard, this one cost us. This one definitely cost us, guys. Got a ticket. Yeah, good for you. We're gonna go see the mall one more time. Get our money's worth, right? Bastards. Of course, I'm gonna get a ticket the last time I come to this place. Of course. Of course. Whatever. It's only $72. Worth it. Let's see if we can get up there. Last time. Here we go. Last time into the gallery.
GGP would be acquired by Brookfield Properties on August 28, 2018 for $9 billion in cash, which included the Gallery Mall. By 2019, Ashkenazi would default on a $76 million loan, sending the Harborplace Pavilions into receivership. When 2020 rolled around and COVID hit, it effectively killed the tourism industry during lockdown. Harborplace saw most tenants flee by 2021, and as you saw, the Gallery and Light Street Pavilions closed the day after I filmed them last year. But a judge approved a deal for Baltimore-based MCB Real Estate to buy Harborplace for an undisclosed amount.
The front door was open. Oh. There it is, guys.
An appraisal last summer set the market value of Harborplace at $45.8 million, with a liquidation value of $27.5 million, so I'm guessing it was about $30 million. And if you're asking me, $30 million bucks to buy the twin pavilions at Harborplace is kind of a steal, and I hope they do something great with it. Good luck, MCB Real Estate. Then, on September 21, 2021, Brookfield told all tenants to vacate by the end of the year. And with all tenants having now left the gallery at Harborplace, the mall was closed just one day after I filmed. I'd like to thank you all for watching my film. The holiday season was always a special time for malls, and while most choose to celebrate by putting up Christmas decorations, I'd like to personally wish you all happy holidays for whatever you celebrate. It's sad to see so few malls left in the country, and especially now with so few putting up decorations. It's a dizzying statistic that I went to in my last video, but it's worth mentioning again. Back in 1985, there were nearly 3,000 malls in the United States. By 1995, there were less than 2,000, and into the 2010s, we now have less than 700. Just the numbers between 1985 and 1995 are enough to convince me that Amazon isn't and wasn't to blame for the death of malls. They killed themselves over the years, and Amazon simply took advantage of a hole in the market and filled it. I will say though, Amazon put the final nail in the coffin for American shopping malls. Despite a seemingly sad ending, I do have hope for Harborplace. I was contacted recently by an interested party that wants to turn the gallery around, and our discussions are ongoing. They really seem to have a passionate vision for the mall, and I can't wait to see what happens. As for the pavilions, it's a bit more tricky. It might come down to demolishing them entirely to make something new, but time will tell. If you're still with me this far into the episode, you may as well subscribe and ring the bell. We're about an hour into this thing, and if you're still watching, I think you're probably into my content. So subscribe, ring the bell, and please follow me on all the social media things. The easiest way to follow me is to chat with me in real time on Discord by joining my Discord server, home of DMod. Just go to discord.gg/dmod to join. I'll be back soon with Exlog 114 and the Belknap Mall in Belmont, New Hampshire. But until then, I'd like to wish you all a blanket happy holidays for whatever you're celebrating. Be safe out there, everyone. Stay warm, take care of yourselves, and have a fantastic day.
Nothing melts away the cold like a delicious hot bowl of Campbell's chicken noodle soup. Let it snow, let it snow. Campbell's makes everything.
You may be wondering why I have these two stands, and it has to be for this next number in which the audience will participate. 1961, Be a Santa. 3, 4. Santa, jolly Santa, happy Santa. Did very well. Very proud of all of you. We're wishing you again a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We're going to play a little Hava Nagila.